What is going on, YouTube? This is Jason of Auglitical. I swim through the politics so you don't drown too. I'm just a man, as always, trying to bring common sense in a world where common sense isn't so common. So, this video that I'm about to play for you, fine gentlemen and gentlewomen, is something that I did not have on my bingo card to see so many blacks or Afro Americans or Americans, if you really just want to get real with it, coming out and sitting here and getting tired of the Democratic Party. Now, I don't really expect this to have any change on anything because there are way too many minimal, minimal blacks out there to really make a change. But the people are getting fed up to the point that we're seeing it more and more often. And this is going to probably be like a civil war between blacks. It's at this point you're going to see a lot more people come out and be like, "You know what? I'm tired of following the shit we've been following that hasn't been working." Anyway, up in Chicago, this woman goes off. And you know what? I enjoy it. I think you guys will enjoy it. The kids call it she ate. That's how the kids say it. That's the really hood in the streets. Let's look at this.
You don't hang no signs about black people hating on immigrants, because black people ain't got no reason to hate on no immigrants.
Oh no, but the immigrants got
We
no reason to
everything
hate
y'all
on us.
are in there some. Let me tell you something. You get them signs down. Anytime that ordinary Lawson and Silverstein and what's that other?
Cesar
Can sit up
Lopez.
here and talk
Lopez.
about how they should get a hate crime bill because swastikas was in Ziploc bags in that community. They hung this in our community. We want it off the poles. We want that to be the beginning of a hate crime. And that organization, which is a white liberal organization, like in the words of Malcolm X, who told us what? That the white liberal is the worst enemy to the black man.
Yes.
And
To the
he
black
is
American.
coming up in here acting like y'all representing some social justice.
Say that,
When all
sister.
along,
Say
all
that.
you're doing is trying to use black people
Say
to
that.
find a reason to make some money.
Say
Let
that.
me tell y'all something over there. We're done. The Democratic Party.
He turned to look at the white people. White people like, "What the fuck, bro? We actually support y'all." I mean, don't get me wrong. A lot of them was over here, and at the end of the day, they do just use black people to get their shit across and give them nothing back. That's why it's so funny to pan across and just see white people just sitting there like, "Oh shit, us." But yeah, apparently they putting up signs on these and the thing is, if you like go in your hood, just look in your hood and just look, because this is how they spread the message. I don't even think people pay attention to this. The average Afro American, the average Black American is not even paying attention to what's happening in areas where they live. What they do, these agents, right? And I'm going to call them agents. These agents of chaos. What they do is they spread their messages on things like the mailing boxes, on things like polls. You'll see these messages, and it'll say things like, um coming together for the resistance and shit. It's literally communist bullshit, right? But they put it in your face, and black people are so stupid they don't even look there, sit there and read and go, "Nah, I don't want this shit over where I'm at. Where's this shit taking place of? We got to get rid of this shit." They don't even do that. So you'll have these people come into your communities, and it's not only white people, but a lot of anarchists, all of this shit. And the reason why I'm bringing this to anarchists because they're sitting there talking about the Democratic Party, but the Democratic Party is using. There's a third party that's fucking up America, and those are the communists. Those are these Antifa people. They will put shit like this to sow chaos. And and believe me, this comes full circle. Just in case you're sitting there going, what the fuck does communism got to do with this? This is just people getting mad at the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party uses the communists to push their bullshit across. The shit that they don't want to get their hands dirty, they'll sit there and they'll allow these people to do whatever they do. But the thing is that at the end of the day, the commies, right, are willing to do anything to destabilize and destroy America. Wake the fuck up, because this is the shit that's happening. This is the reason why we got so much illegal immigration, because they don't believe in borders. This is the reason why pedophilia is becoming rampant, because a lot of their fucking members and shit like that's what they're into. They're willing to use all of these things of disgusting acts to get their shit across. And at the end of the day, when they're done right? They're gonna purge every fucking body. So after they get rid of the people who are standing in the way, they're going right after the people that helped them get the shit that they wanted. You get again, pay attention. So remember, Bob Advocate official. We're gonna look at that in a bit.
It's done. You ain't gonna listen to us like
Y'all
this
gonna
no more.
abuse us.
I'm telling you what I'm
They
telling
get to
you.
abuse the black
Trump
American.
gonna come in here and gonna clean it up. I'm telling you,
Go ahead.
you want
Go
to
ahead.
righteous heart. You leave the Democratic Party. Do just like RFK Jr. Just do like that Tulsa lady. You better get up out the Democratic Party. Save yourself. Save your families. Save your dignity. Save your jobs. And save your seat. Because if y'all don't, we coming for your seats. We ain't taking this no more. We ain't taking no disrespect from a
I don't know who these fucking people are in the background, like this guy who's recording. And he's more interested in fucking putting his 2 cents instead of recording the woman actually speaking her message. Or the fucking black guy who can't, the older, probably 7 generations in black guy who's yeah. Shut the fuck up. That's a sign of low intelligence. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm kind of doing the same thing, but this is my fucking video, right? But let the woman fucking speak. She doesn't need you consistently, trying to be a hype man. You're not even getting paid. Stop. Like, fuck.
bunch of people who have broke into the country and now have completely broke the city, have completely broke the country, have completely disgraced the United States of America. America is a disgrace. And for the, oh my God, for the solution, you give us a fake, black, cackling hand of a candidate. With a vice president that's talking about he want to put tampons in the boys' bathroom. Anybody do this? The number one function of a president is to be the commander-in-chief. You tell me anything about a Kamala Harris that look like she can protect this country after y'all have sat up here and let it get overridden with a bunch of illegal immigrants. Y'all have sat up here and put America's hands in all kind of wars. And you telling me a tampon man that ran from duty don't even know what his rule was. Kamala Harris, who don't know what race she is, gonna protect this country? The devil is a lie. Y'all better get them signs down. Yeah, I know that.
The guy who was sitting there screaming, like I said, seven decades in and shit like that,
And you telling me
in a super green outfit. Look at this man right here, bro.
don't even know
What is he wearing?
what his rule was. Kamala Harris
Look like he just escaped a paint gallery, a painting gallery.
this country, the devil is a lie. Y'all better get them signs down. Yeah, I know that.
But again, it's crazy to see this happening because it's sad because when it comes down to blacks, right? The only ones who really speak out like this is either people who they have something to lose and they understand what it means to work hard for the American dream, or the elders who they get to a certain point that they see the bullshit and they're tired of it. And the saddest thing is, I want you guys to come close here. There's 3 types of blacks. So come close here, white people, people who don't. I'm gonna let you on in a little secret. You got 3 types of blacks. I'm gonna start with the middle. You got your minimalist blacks. These are people who will do the bare minimum in society, but the second something does not go in their way in any shape, form, or capacity, they will sit there and they will basically say that the system is against them. There's no way for them to get ahead, and this is the reason why things are the way that they are. Now, the minimalist blacks, right, will sit there and they can turn into the did not do nothings. Now, the did not do nothings will use social justice as a little shield to really hide from the fact that they're parasites to society, to the detriment of the black community as a whole. And what these people do is they're your criminals, they're your gangsters, they're your neighborhood menaces, right? These are people who they'll scream racism, but their targets are every other race. They won't leave other people alone. They don't even leave their own people alone. Other blacks don't want to be around these people. Whenever you see something in the news about a random black dude attacking somebody or some fucking crazy ass stupid shit, well, they'll sit there and they'll try to start bullshit by claiming that somebody's being racist or some bullshit, or just in the neighborhood just doing bullshit. Those that did not do nothing. These are the people who they do the bullshit, and when they get caught, they sit there and they can't get it through their head that what they did was wrong, because ultimately they feel like as though they're owed something. And then you got your third types, which is basically just blacks that want to do what they need to do. You know what I'm saying? These are blacks who are participating in the melting pot. These are blacks who they're American. They don't like the did not do nothings, and they don't so often crash out as the minimalist. But you need to know the difference. The saddest thing about it is between the three, you know what I'm saying? The two subcultures of blacks, it's so many of them that it's noticeable, and people think that we're all like this, and we're not. Anyway, Bob Avakin, let's look into him real quick, right? Let's look into Bob Avakin. Bob, because she said that it is a white liberal page, right? Now, remember, I told you this was going to come full circle. Bob Avakin, right? Revolutionary leader, author, and architect of a new framework for human emancipation, the new communism. See what I'm talking about? This is the shit. These are the people that are pulling the strings. So they're literally going into your neighborhoods, right? They're going into your neighborhoods, and they are sitting here talking about black people hating on immigrants. Nonsense and worse from people who should know better. They should know better. A white person, don't get me wrong, it's not to sit there and say white people can't say anything towards blacks or anything like that, but it's the whole idea that these people always come in, oh, I'm your comrade, I'm your friend. And like Malcolm X said best, the white liberal is the worst enemy of the Afro-American. Well, this was before he got the actual awakening, because they killed Malcolm X once he found out it wasn't just white people that was bad. You also had a bunch of these dancing fools who were black, who was the detriment to blacks advancing and progressing in society. And what they said, get your hand out my pocket. Black man killed Malcolm X, right? But here it is again. They think that they know better. Communists, they'll sit there, they'll act like your friend to get what they want. They'll pretend to be you. They'll take your movement and hijack it. They'll make things happen so that they can further push along their narrative. So let's just look at some of his posts. Um, For the full playtest, speaking on the urgent questions of why we need this revolution, communism, with intensive exposure of the crimes of this system, why this revolution is possible in this rare time, and how this revolution can actually succeed. Keep going. Now, here's the thing. Ultimately, this always shows its head. Even though the Democrats and the communists do use each other, they don't like the Democrats. The Democrats is using a tool that they can't control, but they're willing to use it to not give up power. But ultimately, that third party will overtake the Democrats because they're too stupid. They don't understand how dangerous the tool is that they're using. They're willing to use communism to try to stay in power. They don't understand how dangerous that double-edged sword is until it swings back on them. Again, supporting a mass murderer and mass incarcerator running for president. Who could be so desperate and be so deluded? Now, they don't like Kamala. They didn't like Biden. And a perfect example of this is a couple of members in our Congress, like AOC. AOC is a democratic socialist, and this is the nice word that they use so people don't get immediately turned off by what they are. I'm a democratic socialist. What is the ultimate goal of socialism? It's communism. So what ends up happening is that they'll sit there and they'll play nice. But when they get their marching orders from the other commies, AOC will sit there and push those things along, or she'll act nonchalant and, let those shits go through. Because ultimately, like I said, the goal is for the West to fall, and they're willing to use any tool to get it. They're willing to put anybody against each other. They're okay with the chaos. I have a question for any black people today who caught up on this hating on migrants. Yo. And again, I didn't see this message. I would love to see this. I would love to see these comments. You're a fucking moron. Black people are most affected by illegals depression wages. This is true. This is true. A lot of jobs are going to illegals in Chicago, the place with O Block, how O Block is gonna really sit there and they're gonna show their gangster. Don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here saying O Block is pussy. I'm not sitting here saying O Block don't got no power. The problem is your numbers ain't hitting the numbers that the amount of fucking illegals that have crossed the border in the last 3 years. So let's be honest here. O Block, how many members do you? And this is a message to O Block. How many members do you got? Y'all sitting there talking about y'all got switches and this, that, and third, like these Venezuelans, this organized crime. And let me make sure I come back. Let me make a mental note to come back to exactly this. But I need to get this off my chest because this has been on my mind for a while. A lot of people are sitting there going, "This can't happen to me. That's Colorado, Colorado pussy. This is not how we do in Chicago because we hood." Yeah, I could see you guys fighting. I could see you guys fighting back against the Chernaguas for a while, but they're gonna bleed you dry. They have the numbers. They clearly have the government resources. They got better positions. They're more organized than you guys. Let's say how many members you got. I'll highball it and say you got 3,000 members in O Block. Is that too low? 5,000. Want me to go high? Let me say you. Let's say you guys got 8,000 members. That's a good fucking number for a gang. I'm gonna keep it honest. A black centric gang, that's a nice number right there, right? In the last 3 years, in the last 3 fucking years, there has been over 9 to 10 million, not just illegals from everywhere in the world, Venezuelans into the United States. And that's around the estimated official numbers. The real numbers might be in the 14 or 13 million. So if the gang, who, mind you, it'd be one thing if O Block was literally a whole fucking country, right? But here's the deal. They took over 7 fucking prisons where they came from. They are a prison gang. I'm not talking they took over and the guards were sitting there and it was a lot of corruption. I'm talking they kicked out the law completely out of their prisons. Completely. So unless O Block, every single member fights, bleeds, shits for O Block, you guys need to wake the fuck up. You don't, and mind you, I'm not sitting here calling y'all pussy or nothing like that. But if you think that they give a shit, if they decide, and I'm hoping this doesn't happen, if they decide at some point we want to get rid of y'all, we don't got the numbers. This is just blacks as a whole. This is not just O Block. This is just blacks as a whole. This is just blacks as a whole. I'm just being honest. I'm sorry this is a tangent, but this is just something that's been on my fucking mind because the fucking logistics of it. Just the logistics if there is a war. Yeah, y'all fight back, y'all take some bodies, and they're gonna keep sending people over there. You already see they're giving all these houses in Chicago to Venezuelan illegals. You already see the government is giving them houses, helping them with benefits. They're already committing crimes over there. Go order something off of Uber. Go order some food off of Uber and see who shows up. Every other fucking group hates them. Pay attention. But again, this is what the communists will use. They'll use this in their eyes. This is good, right? I have a question for any black people today who are caught up. All right, coming back. Why is this any of your non-Negro business? Ooh, why are you using the word Negro? Why do you think it's your place to check on our logic? Immigrants, which generations? LOL. Mind telling me why you're patronizing pathologisting and being paternalistic with black Americans only. There's plenty of Hispanic Americans and Asian Americans that are vocal about being anti-immigration, yet you reserve your finger wagging speech for us. Bob, you are a piece of shit anti-black American racist because we want our borders closed and for illegal immigrants to be held accountable for breaking the law. Here's the thing. Other illegals don't even like them because the ones who are illegal, who are not bad people, are being preyed upon by those people. So again, remember what I said, 9 to 10 million. Those are the official estimated numbers, but it realistically can be 13 million, right? If let's say 15% of that, let's say 7% of that is in a gang. They overrun you. They overrun you, and they're organized. Your entire fucking city, your entire state overran like that. Overran like that in a week. It already happened. But keep shitting on Colorado just because it's another minority area. Keep shitting on them. Talk about, oh, we got switches. We know how to handle that. All right. You obviously have a mental disease and you are a communist trying to create a civil war between. It's not going to work. You work for people who's been trying this and it hasn't worked, retard. We know what you're doing, idiot. I hope so. I fucking hope so. Because this is something I've been warning for a long time. It's not just Democrats versus communists. I mean, Democrats versus Republicans. It's never been like that. It will seem that way, right? But a lot of the radicalization is being caused by anarchists. I'm not sitting here saying Democrats are good or Republicans are good or whatever. I'm just sitting here saying Kamala Harris is the most radical nominee. She's been selected. She wasn't a nominee. She is the most radical candidate we have ever had, and all of those socialist, communist agendas, she's passing all of them. She does not believe in freedom. She does not believe in you speaking. She doesn't even give a shit about acting another race to get ahead. She will use anything to get power. And when they give her her marching orders, she's going to do each and every one of them because she's just that fucking radical. Just that fucking radical. Start speaking on facts before spewing your hateful rhetoric against authentic original Americans. Why don't you necessarily post about whites, Armenians, Asians, Middle Easterners, Indians, Latinos that are anti-immigration? Immigration harms Americans, especially American freedmen. I don't know where that term American, like freedmen, comes from. I guess that they're making up more terms. It's like, why are you making up more fucking terms? They already made a bunch of fucking terms. Just call them Afro-Americans. There's no fucking slaves. Talk about some fucking free. I don't know. I don't like that term. I don't like colored folks. Just like I don't like people of color. I don't like the term American freedmen, where just say Black Americans. You already said it, Black Americans. So why American freedmen? I mean, none of us fought against slavery. None of us are alive. But again, ultimately, like I said, this comes full circle. Pay attention and wake the fuck up. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
Venezuela, by the way, has the lowest murder rate ever right now. What does that tell you?
Yeah, all the murderers are gone.
We're here.
Yeah. So is it true that they're emptying prisons? I mean, is this
This is not
Cuba all over again?
This is not a hearsay. There was a memo by DHS last year admitting that in fact they knew that Venezuela's government was emptying their prison and rehabilitation centers or drug centers, releasing them on purpose because they knew with instructions to make, if you were going to get out, you're going to make your way to the U.S. That is not, we're not making that up. That's true. It was reported on, and DHS admitted that was happening. And in fact, it has. El Tren de Aragua is heavily present in our country now.
Okay, so you're telling me that DHS has acknowledged that Venezuela, for example, is emptying their prisons and their rehabilitation centers with the understanding you get out if you leave here and go to the United States.
Yes.
And DHS has in writing said, we know that's happening. We know they're coming here. We're processing them in and have no idea where they are.
Correct.
How many people are we talking about?
Millions. And just Venezuela alone.
We're talking about in the last 2 or 3 years, we've had estimated how many people have come across the border.
My estimation, the official number, I think, is about 10 million.
Yeah, it's about 10, 11 million.
Yeah,
that's the official.
But my personal opinion, I think we're about 15 to 18 million.